近すぎ?
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Miyu. Obviously, we have a special guest today. So, can you just briefly introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hi guys, my name's Diana, but in Japanese people call me Kirika, so whatever you call me, I don't mind.
Kirika-san.
I'm very honored to be invited by Miyu-chan today to introduce about myself and my learning experience for English and Japanese and maybe some other languages as well. I look forward to listening to your questions and hopefully can get some learning tips from me today, and I wish this video can help you guys.
Q&A. My first question is, what is your English and Japanese background?
Okay, for English, maybe most of you guys know that China is a very, very competitive country. So we started to learn English since we are like primary school, year 1 or something. Unlike Japan, I know you guys maybe started from junior high.
Yeah, I started when I was 10.
Yeah, something like that. So we started early, and actually the first time when I actually have interaction with English language is when I was around 4 years old, still in kindergarten. Although it was just like for fun or something, but
like a special course that you're taking?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
But no one actually kind of like being serious with that because we didn't know how important English would be at that time.
Yeah.
And then started learning English since primary school, and then because I suck at learning math and my mom was like forcing me to choose either English or math, gradually I started to think that learning a language is actually not as hard as learning math for me.
Totally
So
agree.
yeah, so I'm not a math girl. I couldn't really understand anything in the math world. I prefer to learn language, English. So since year 5, I kind of like became like the top 1 student in English studying in my school. Since then, I probably really found where my passion is as well. So because I could speak English when I was very young, I went to a pretty good junior school because of that as well. Speak of my Japanese.
So when did you actually start learning Japanese?
Well, it's a bit embarrassing to say that, but I started to learn since I was 13.
これで大丈夫かな?
Okay.
顔ちっちゃいいいな。確かに動画撮ったら自分の顔嫌いになっちゃうね。
でしょ? ノーマルカメラでね。
今わかったかも。
I used to be a very big fanatic of Japanese anime, so that's why I got interested in learning this language. There's a lot of kanji character in there. It's just like cheating because I understand everything.
Mostly the same.
Yeah.
We're actually borrowing the kanji thing from Chinese.
Definitely.
So.
Yeah, it's
So
not
you could
hard for
actually
me.
guess what it means.
Yeah, definitely. The pronunciation, also some logic of thinking as both as Asian people, make it easier for me to learn Japanese. That was my first interest in Japanese language, and of course I put on subtitles, otherwise I wouldn't understand.
So kanji actually helped you a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Step by step, I could pick up some words or vocabs from Japanese animes. From the subtitle.
From the context, or did you actually Google it?
Well, I didn't Google it, but some of them are like similar pronunciation. Some of them are just like, for example, numbers. I can definitely just if someone's counting down, I can just learn the numbers. From the subtitle.
Okay, yeah. You're actually answering the second question already.
Oh, really?
So the question was, how did you learn Japanese with movies and anime?
Yeah, maybe.
So you learned Japanese in school, or
no,
but just by yourself?
By myself.
So you bought a textbook from like a bookstore or something?
Yeah, it was like I think it's called like Hyojun Nijugo.
Hyojun
Nihongo.
Yeah, I think I know that textbook.
Yeah.
Because I used to teach Japanese too.
Right.
Foreigners. So when you start learning Japanese with that textbook, what motivated you to learn sentence structures or grammars? Because I know a lot of people would say like studying grammar is boring. Like watching anime, watching movies could be fun to do.
I suck at it too. Because at that time,
especially you're not in the course or like you're not in school.
Yeah, so
but you still did it by yourself, right?
I'm still making mistakes, trust me.
She's really good at it. I honestly didn't know that she's Chinese. Yeah, she's really good at it.
Thanks. Didn't really put too much effort in learning grammar from the textbook because I know that's not where my passion is. So I just try to remember or revise what I can get from the anime or TV J drama from remembering what they say, and I try to mimic them. That's how I managed to learn the grammar. But actually, when I'm talking to Japanese, I know I'm making a lot of grammar mistakes.
We don't care though. Like we still make mistakes. We're native.
Yeah.
But still, say watashi wa, watashi ga, watashi o. That kind of like joshi thing.
Yeah. So I would say, well, if you are not good at grammar, don't really push too hard to yourself because grammar is not like a big part in those texts anyways.
When it comes to speaking, we don't
care. And it's more like working in Australia for several years, I gradually realized that it's more like how you can directly deliver your idea to the next person, and then they can understand exactly what you are trying to say, rather than try to correct all those grammar issues in your sentence, and because nobody really cares. What we need to do here is get things done.
Yeah, faster. When learning a second language, what do you think are most common practice that most quick learners do and those who are struggling do not? When it comes to quick learners, what are the factors can you come up with?
I would say try to open your mouth.
Oh, actual like training of your mouth movement and your tongue movement?
No, it's more like you just need to practice your spoken language. Because the way that I could speak Japanese was because I actually literally tried to nampa all those Japanese international students that I could find in my junior high and high schools. Yeah, I just tried to talk. I wanted to make Japanese friends. I want them to correct my language if I did anything probably make like very simple mistakes. So I wasn't scared of feeling embarrassed in front of native speaking people. So I think this is like a technique that all the language speakers need to do, that
That's so true.
Try to open your mouth, and I'm pretty sure that the native people can understand that you are a language learner. So don't be afraid. This is very general idea, but it is so true that once you try to speak up in front of the native people and let them correct you, it gets really fast. I did this.
Like most of the time, was it like one-on-one or like in a group?
It doesn't matter.
Because like while I was in New Zealand, I used to go to the local college. I was like comfortable talking in English if it's like one-on-one conversation. But when it comes to like talking in a group, like the conversation grows faster. And everyone like talking very fast.
I know.
And like even if I make mistakes in grammar and vocabulary, like no one would correct me.
Yeah, it is a bit tricky.
Yeah, I tend to be more quiet in group.
You can do, my advice would be, when you are in a group chat, you can use that as a listening practice. You don't have to talk too much, but try to understand what they're trying to say, as sometimes it's not a language thing, it's more like a cultural thing that they're talking about because they grew up at from the same background.
But when you cannot speak Japanese a lot, so when it comes to one-on-one conversation, because you cannot speak Japanese, or sometimes you cannot even understand what they're saying, then how can you like deliver the conversation? Like it kind of stops you doing interview, because like, you know, the native Japanese, someone is like ask you questions and then you answer with one or two sentences and then that's it, right?
I would say
people ask me a lot of questions, but I always say yes or no, or like I think so, and that's all I could say.
So when I learned Japanese and when I was in a group of Japanese people, if I couldn't understand, I try to ask what it means. For example,
so where you were already able to make a sentence like questions.
I would ask どういう意味 and
どういう意味
これとこれの違いは何ですか? Would try to ask. I'm still asking questions in my office. Like there are some very Aussie slangs that I don't really understand. I still ask my manager to try to explain everything for me.
So you're talking about it in English?
Yeah, in English. So we just have to try to ask and don't be ashamed.
Level, like you can see her level of English and Japanese both, right? She's still learning.
I'm pretty sure we are the same level because I
No,
also
no,
got
literally not.
No, we both
not.
got
That's a
7.5
big no-no.
for IELTS.
No, like when it comes to academic English, because that's what I learned in Japan. That's why I could get like 7.5. But when it comes to speaking, I haven't really spent long time abroad. This is actually my second time to be abroad. First time was in New Zealand, and this is my second time.
Yeah.
I'm still learning grammars and vocabulary because I'm teaching. Maybe I know a lot about it, so I'm good at taking tests.
Oh, right.
But not having
okay.
conversation. No.
Oh, I'm probably...
We're like opposite, I guess.
Yeah, we are the other way around.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I suck at like doing exams.
We don't need it.
Yeah.
Unless you're like teaching somebody or
Right, that's
unless
true.
you actually have to take higher scoring test.
Exactly.
We don't need it. Okay. I love this question. So if you were to start learning English from zero, from scratch, what is the first thing that you would do and why?
Okay, because based on my experience, I learn from listening and I learn from my interest. I would definitely find something that's in English which attracts me. For example, maybe if I'm a reading person, I might find a novel.
Okay.
Yeah, for example, like Harry Potter, Twilight, something, love stories. Definitely find something that interests me the most.
Could be a book, could be a
yeah.
movie.
Yeah,
Could
so
be like hanging out in a club or something.
yeah, you can try to pick up. I was a big fanatic of anime, like I said, so I would probably, if I were about to learn English, maybe I would find a manga that's in English because there are more pictures but less conversations and text in manga. So maybe that's easier for me to start. Try to find something that interests you, and you can also find English dubbing Korean dramas or Japanese anime. So if you are into Japanese anime or Korean dramas, find something on Netflix. Maybe they have like different dubbings, or try to find something on the internet.
What's dubbing?
Dubbing, no.
Dubbing is fukikae in Japanese. Okay, so the last one. What do you think about English skills of Japanese people in general? Let's be honest.
Okay, it might sound a bit harsh, but because
That's what we want to hear.
I've been working as public servant, 공무원, to support international students in Australia. I've met so many international students, and I would say 70 to 80% of students who accept our services are Japanese students. I would say compared to students from Western or South Asia, Japanese students are unlikely to use English for the first time.
So they're talking in their own language,
yeah,
Japanese.
Yeah, I can tell that most of the Japanese students who like to receive our support is because I can speak Japanese, so they feel comfortable to explain their situation with me. And I can understand that when you are in a new country, challenging yourself, definitely if you need to explain something, it will be easier for you to use your native tongue. But I think most of the foreign students would like to try their best to talk in English.
That's impressive.
It's hard to find staff who can speak all those languages. Sometimes they don't really have a choice. They just have to accept that they need to use English to talk about what happened to them.
But that's actually ideal environment for them to learn new language.
Yeah, because when you have to do something, you're determined. Your language will develop as well. So most of the Japanese students that I've seen in my office, they are still relatively staying in their comfort zone. I think
compared to people from other countries.
Yes, definitely try to be brave.
That's a good message. Yeah. It's a lot different when I'm saying the same thing or like you're saying it, because I'm still learning and sometimes I'm still like scared of speaking English, and especially in front of Japanese people who can speak English better than me.
Well, I can understand that. I sometimes might feel the same if some Chinese people are actually native speakers. They're kind of like born here or something, and I might feel that maybe my English not good enough for them. perhaps. Yeah, I sometimes got that kind of a gut feeling as well.
Especially I'm like being an influencer, like making English educational content. I feel like I have to be professional. I have to be perfect.
But I mean, you're brave enough. Like I wouldn't really challenge myself to talk in English in front of everybody online or on social media. I'm pretty sure some people might be picky, and a lot of Chinese people got really good English. They've been here for most of their life, and they might be like, oh, you have grammar mistakes, how can you teach English like that, blah blah.
Sometimes I get that coming.
Yeah. Oh,
there's no perfection.
Right, definitely.
I think.
And you're getting perfection by practicing.
Yeah.
I think you're doing the right thing.
Actually, when I started my TikTok channel, I wasn't planning to be an influencer.
All right.
So the main purpose to post video on TikTok channel was to practice my English, talking to myself. I was in a comfort zone.
In Japanese.
Oh really?
Yeah, I did that in Japanese.
Everyone does it. Yeah. But like when you're doing it, because you're not like, even though you're making mistakes, it's okay because that's only between you and you, right? Yeah. So like when I actually post video, that was a good pressure for me.
There are a lot of like pretty critical people online. Well, yeah, but the more judge you got, it means the more popular you are.
Done.
All done?
Yeah. Yeah. Adult. I think creating environment is the first thing.
Very initial.
Do. Yeah. Like even though if you buy a textbook or if you like become a membership of like English learning courses, because you're maybe working, right, 9 to 5, and after that being tired, but still you have to do English study.
Definitely.
That's too much. You need something that pushes you to do, forces you to do it no matter what.
Yeah, the best thing is not studying, it's learning. So learning is like you gradually pick up things from what you see and what you listen, but studying is more like you do it from the textbook, and they're different. Yeah, I think when we are all young, we learn things easily, but now as an adult, we are more like studying, which is like less progressive than how we could do that when we were like in school, like high school or something.
Yeah, it's better to pick up the words or like
in natural ways.
Yeah, from your daily conversation. I turned like my iPhone setting into all in English when I was 16 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're actually an Eigo otaku. Yeah.
I switched everything into English.
Yeah, use English as a habit in your life.
Yeah, that was quite confusing for the first time. You know,
it could be. I'm pretty sure
I got some like notifications saying something in English and I didn't understand it, but I couldn't Google it because, you know, until you put like yes or no, you can't actually move to the next page, right? Right. So I wanted to Google it, what it means. You know? There are so many words that I didn't understand, but like if I say no or yes, or like something would happen. I was like, I'm too scared. Like what I'm saying, you know? Because I have my laptop. I searched them with the laptop. ChatGPT. ChatGPT.
Yeah. I got confused with that a lot of times as well.
ChatGPT. Yeah. Brilliant. I use it all the time.
Right.
But yeah, that's how she learned, and pretty much I learned English in that way. So like, don't just study with your textbook. In most cases,
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
Not really.
So when Japanese people who are adults, when they want to start learning English, they often buy a like vocabulary book, or download like the application where you can learn English, or online eikaiwa. Have a little chat in English.
Okay.
As you said, like to find something that interests you first, switch it into English.
Try to make studying a learning process.
Yeah, even hanging out with friends. If you make foreign friends who can speak English, and that can be the opportunity where you can learn English. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be like open up the textbook and study. No. Hey, that's it.
All done.
All done. And hopefully if I could come back here to Melbourne one day, this year or next year. But yeah, we'll definitely welcome you. Yeah. Let me know if you like it or not. Maybe we can do another collaboration.
If you want to put critical comment, お手柔らかにしてください.
Wow, that's a high level of Japanese. お手柔らかに. Where did you learn it?
J-dramas. Yeah, give me a sec.
But anyway, because it's a Friday, we're going out.
Yay!
So, I'll see you in the next video.
Alright.
Bye bye. Focus.
強いな。
分かってる。
今言ったら分かった。
Where are you?
なんかここでもうちょっと
これしたらどう
こうしたらちょっと明るくなる。あ、この方がいいかも。
こっちの方がいい？
こっちの方がいいかも。
So let's start.
Sure.